What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Uberkooledgarage. On this week's episode, we're going to continue with Zach's Ghia. Hopefully get it on the road and driving, so we will find that out. I am sorry I haven't filmed a video in a while. I've been out of town for work. Also been remodeling my kitchen, so that project is pretty much done. So we're going to get back into the cars. Hope you guys enjoy. Okay guys, I am back on this thing. So I still have to figure out the clutch. So as much as I don't want to, I'm gonna go ahead and at least get the motor disassembled, slide it out, at least enough to get to the clutch and try and diagnose it a little bit further than I did last time. Last time I just put the other clutch in there, thinking that it would work out okay, and it didn't. So I'm gonna dig a little deeper into this, figure out exactly what is going on with it. I have another clutch, so another clutch disc. So I'll look at both of those side by side, see if there's anything different, if the thickness is the same. Got the motor pulled out, as you guys saw. I got the clutch pulled off. This is the extra clutch disc that I have. It appears to be exactly the same as what was in it. The only difference is this one's a Xcity clutch disc. So this one, it's kind of weird. If you guys can see right there on the leading edge, it's got a weird, funky wear mark on it. So, and that's on both sides. It's just on the edge, which is kind of strange to me. So, I don't know whether I want to use this one or not. They seem to be the exact same size, same tooth pattern, same everything. I'm just not 100% sure on why that's worn out up there. I mean, you can even see pretty good chunks of copper through it. So, probably not going to use this one. This one here is slightly used, but is in really good shape. It's got a ton of pad left on it still. The actual clutch looks fine. One person did mention, clean that off before I slide it back in, but one person did mention the collar there on the actual clutch. This is a 68 transmission. So as you can see here, there's no collar in here. So it's got the correct throwout bearing and the correct clutch collar or clutch pad on there. So all of that's fine. This does move freely. This moves freely. Bearing is brand new. All the pins are locked in and everything. So I'm completely baffled. I have no idea why this thing won't go into gear. I think what I might do is I might jack up the car on the driver's side and pump a bunch more fluid in this, overfill it just a little bit. Since the transmission is tilted back just a hair, so I'm gonna pump a little bit more fluid in it. Hopefully that's what it is. It's just I want to overfill it just a little tiny bit, not too much, but I want to see if that'll do anything. The actual clutch itself, I'm gonna put the clutch back together, take a face measurement from the adapter plate to the actual throwout bearing surface, and then I will do the same here with the bell housing. Do the bell housing to the actual throwout bearing, get a measurement on that, and then see what my distance there is. Typical Volkswagen says that you should have 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of free play on the pedal before the clutch engages. So that's what I have it set to now, but I just want to measure and make sure that there is actually an air gap there. That way the clutch doesn't wear out super fast, and don't want to jack up the throwout bearing. So I'm going to measure that, overfill it just a tiny bit, and cross my fingers and hope for the best. Okay, so it's been a couple hours. I've been doing a couple things on the car. I went ahead and got that other clutch disc in there. Got it all torqued down to spec. Went ahead and measured the face of the clutch to the bell housing, or to the adapter plate. And then I went through here, got a measurement on the face of the bell housing to the throwout bearing. I have about a 1/16 of an inch distance there for an air gap. So that's a good starting base from where I need to be. I can loosen it or tighten it just a little bit if I have to from there. I went ahead and jacked the car way up, jacked up the driver's side of the car, pumped the transmission with more fluid, went ahead and did it until it started to overfill, which is basically where you want it to begin with. But since the transmission sits at an angle in the car, with the car jacked up, it takes transmission and tilts it this way. So I went ahead and filled that up as much as I could. If I have to, I can slowly drain some out, but I would rather have too much in there than not enough. That way the gears will actually get the proper lubricant and everything like that. So I believe I am ready to throw the motor back in the car, and by the time I get the motor back in the car, it's probably going to be dark. So we'll possibly try and see if I can get this thing to drive tomorrow in the morning. So I'll get this motor back in, and then I'll update you guys as soon as it's back in. I got the motor back in. As you can see, the air conditioning lines are out. I'm going to get those welded up, and then I can throw the system on a vacuum pump, make sure I don't have any leaks, and then fill it up with refrigerant. So that'll be really cool to get done. I have since started the car, bled the cooling system, so the cooling system's nice and full of coolant. I have started the car, went ahead and started the car in first gear, and then let out the clutch. So the clutch is working fine. The car does move under its own power. I'm pretty sure I have a fluid issue with the transmission, so I'm going to fill it up a little tiny bit more. It will go into second gear, it won't go into first now. So I'm going to fill it up a little bit more with fluid, maybe try and drive it and see if I can get the fluid maybe moving around in the transmission, see if that helps at all. If not, I will have to figure out a way to figure out what's going on with that. But we will try and drive it here in a couple of minutes and see how it does. Inside the car, I have done a little bit of work. I went ahead and ran the drain for the air conditioning system. That goes out and just dumps in the fender well. If you notice here, I have this gray wire here. If I go ahead and turn on the fan, I have this fan working as well. It pulls a ton of air through the condenser, so that works out great. All the air conditioning stuff is pretty much done other than the lines out front. I need to make one bracket that kind of holds this into place, and now that I have this stuff figured out, I will plug this gray wire into a ground that's underneath somewhere. Might just go to the transmission on that one, or right to the inside of the chassis. So now that that's done, I can make this cover that covers over this, and then carpet all of this. Should be all nice and good now. And painting a couple things to go back on the car, the windshield wipers and the front grills. Got all those painted up, so those are drying. I'll pop those in. Let's go ahead and take this thing for a drive. Readjust the brakes. But drives nice, solid, works out really good, feels really good, the steering's nice and tight. So it's just a transmission issue and lead brakes that we'll have to figure out. does go into gear, it's just not easy. But she works good. Start figuring out the little stuff. Got the grills painted black. They look really, really nice on the car. Nice and clean. The inside mesh is still in there. As is the, I made some block off plates for the fresh air into the cab. So those are blocked off, painted black as well. So it's nice and clean. The hood latch didn't work. So I have a pull pin inside of this grill. Worked out really, really good. And then the windshield wipers, got those painted black as well. Got all the outside trim put on. There's still a couple of paint touch-ups that I have to do. But I'm going to be cleaning that up and polishing the whole car here in a minute. Like you can see, there's a run right here. But that'll all clean up. Car is looking really, really good. Just got to figure out this transmission issue. So, it's getting there. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you. Sorry it took so long for this video to come out. Hopefully, tomorrow's Monday, so Monday, Tuesday, I will be out of town again. And then, hopefully after that, I won't have to go out of town anymore, which would be really nice. We're really going to start jamming on both cars. I want the Ghia done hopefully by next weekend, so then Zach can come and pick it up. If the back seat stuff still hasn't came yet, if it hasn't came back by next week, go ahead and finish up the rest of the car. Call Zach, tell him that he can come get his car, and once the seat stuff comes in, then I'll ask him to bring it back, and then we can build the back seat for him. And then later down the road, he wants to do the rest of the interior as well. So we'll try and get that car done this week. Try and finish every single little detail out. Make sure that everything works. Get the brakes going, get the transmission going. Make sure all the lights work, all of that stuff. So I'm going to push really, really hard this next week and try and get this car done. And then we can finish up on the bug, start getting everything finalized on that. I've been doing a lot of little tedious stuff on the bug, getting it ready. So I have more parts on the way for the bug, which is awesome. If you guys like the videos, please feel free to share. Don't forget to like and go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more. So until next time, we'll see you guys later, guys. Peace out.